Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Mac. This is Let's Play Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky SC. In the last episode, gambling. We had to beat a man at gambling and you could probably figure it out just from random guessing, but I didn't feel I wanted to make sure that I got what I needed, so yeah, I just looked at guide for it. Anyway, in this episode we're going to be doing a lot of wandering around talking to people, but we're also going to find a secret hidden side quest. This. Hey, you guys! Your braces, right? Yeah, is something wrong? You look kind of frazzled. Hang on, I have a bad sneeze coming. And then I didn't sneeze, darn it. It'll probably show up later or something. There's something I'd like you to investigate urgently. Could you come right now? Yeah, no problem. Thanks, I owe you. So where should we go? Head to Norman's election office. It's at the top of the floor of the hotel. Here, I'll show you the way. I'm telling you, I didn't do it. Hurry up and let me go home. I've got work to do. No, calm down. Just bear with us until the braces arrive. Once their investigation's done, you can leave. Speak of the devil. See, here they are. That sure was fast, Harry-O! Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Harry-O fade in from non-existence for a second there, or have I already forgotten? Oh, also, I didn't go over the winning strategy for if you have agate in the party. So, if you have agate, swap leaving only the king. Challenge. Anything, fold, and then exchange everything. That's how you win with agate. Anyway, that was sure was fast, Harry-O. Yeah, I lucked out and ran into some braces right away. This is Norman. I'm sure you've seen him on posters around the city. One of the guys running for mayor, I think. I'm Estelle Bright of the Bracer Guild. I'm Sherazade Harvey, also a bracer. So let's get to it. What happened? One of our campaigners, Dells, was injured by someone. In other words, it's an assault case. An assault? Well, that's never a nice thing to hear. Is the victim okay? Yes, he's still here. He was unconscious for a bit, but it was thankfully nothing serious. Good to hear it. There's nothing good about it. The back of my head still hurts like you wouldn't believe. The back of your head, huh? Were you attacked from behind? Yes, ma'am. Right out of the blue, too. Was taking a breather on the balcony. And all of a sudden from behind, thud! How vicious. Ouch, sounds nasty. When did the incident occur? Give us any info that happened before and after. Sure, it happened just after lunch. Norman and I were checking out a potential location for a speech by the bridge. Cooper here just turned up then. When I talked to him, he said he's had some important business with Norman. What kind of business? Portos told me to come apologize for the mess on the bridge. It's not like it's all my fault, but it did sort of make it worse. I see, so you came to say sorry for the scuffle? Yes, but Norman was still very busy at the time. We'd asked Cooper to wait in the office area. That's when I showed him to this room. I returned to the hotel not long afterward. I entered the room with Harry-O, who had been waiting outside the office, and there was Dells unconscious on the balcony. And Cooper was right there, standing over him. I'm trying to tell you, why does that make me the criminal? He was already out cold when I reached the balcony. I understand what Cooper's saying, but it's only natural to suspect him given the circumstances. There was no one in this room except Cooper and Dells. Is that true? After I brought Cooper, I was on watch outside the door. This sounds like a setup for a slander against Portus and Portus's team. No one entered until Norman got here. No matter how you look at it, that means these two were alone. You're absolutely positive? Yeah, it's true, but it's like I said. When I went out to the balcony, Dels was already on the ground. So let me get this straight. The crime was already committed by the time you came, is that right? Yeah, exactly! Ah, thank Idios, finally there's someone who gets it! In that case, it'd have to be someone who entered this room before Cooper. Dels, do you remember anything? It's possible someone came in. People go in and out of this office all the time though. Even if someone had, I wouldn't have thought much of it. Fair enough. It's an election office, so that makes sense. At least we have a good idea of what's going on. The culprit behind this attack must be one of two people. Cooper, or someone who came before him into this room. We should be able to narrow it down if we get enough proof. Think we ought to start questioning? If there's nothing else to be gleaned here, yes. If you gentlemen can think of anything else, please tell me now. Even if it seems trivial or unimportant. Alright then, I have one more thing I'd like to add. There was something that occurred to me as I was looking through the room after the incident. Were there signs it had been rummaged around in? Not at all, just the opposite in fact. It actually felt like it was cleaner than before. Huh? Is a serial cleaner on the loose? One way to interpret it would be to disguise the fact the room had been searched. Of course, it appears they went too far, inadvertently arousing suspicion in the process. That's not a bad train of thought. Indeed, who are you? I was waiting for that question. I am a travelling bard, a poetic soul wandering the wilds, a genius mute. Sure, if nothing's been stolen, then the idea that it is a disguise is pretty weak. At this stage, I don't think there's any point in worrying about motive. I agree. You've grown even bolder since our last rendezvous, Estelle. Your training at La Local was most fruitful. You're simply stunning. Olivia, just ignore him. Now, if there's nothing else you can tell us, we should get to questioning. Certainly. She's begun to master how to handle Olivia, I see. Good luck with the investigation. We'll come report once we have an answer. Good, we're counting on you to get to the bottom of this. Now, how should we go about things? I mean, this hotel is pretty big. It's best if we split into two. Estelle, go with Her Highness, I'll go with Olivia. We're lucky to have them as assistants, so let's make good use of them. Good point. Ready to kick some investigation butt, Chloe? Of course! Assisting companions is only natural for a hunter of love. You sure don't miss a beat, do you? Alright, our first order of business is to gather information on the suspect. If you go around asking about Cooper, something should turn up. Should you get a clearer picture of the criminal, come back here. Once we've found the criminal, go report to you. No problem, let's see what we can find out. How about we have a look out here? Is there any sort of evidence of... It's been a while. I guess I forgot that there was also a balcony over here. Man, we could have stayed here if not for Duke Dunan. My graceful conversational skills have finally had their time in the spotlight. Since she's saying go ask elsewhere, I lost consciousness immediately, so I didn't see who hit me. Even catching a glance would have been better than nothing at all. Cooper's face went white as a sheet the moment he saw us. He sure was dismayed at having been witnessed at the crime scene. Cooper was standing next to Dels, who was lying on the ground. He looked at me and seemed very surprised. He wasn't excited or worked up, but he did appear tremendously shocked. I'll say as many times as you like, I only found Dels. It would have been fine if someone would have heard a sound, but no one said anything, did they? Of course they didn't. I was politely seated on the sofa. The sound, you say? That probably would be the sound of me getting hit. Heard a hell of a bang in my head, that's for sure. Well, yes, Cooper's right. I was standing in front of the door, but it was quiet the whole time in the room. If there had been some kind of argument, I would have noticed. I'm sure I would have noticed. If I'd fought with Del, someone would have heard something. As Cooper said, I didn't hear any loud noise either. I was in the lobby at the time, but if grown men were fighting, I'm sure I would have heard something. Maybe we have to go downstairs and ask around? When Cooper came to the hotel, I was in the lobby. I didn't know he looked angry, I guess. I thought something might happen. And then just like I thought, something happened. A sound? I didn't really hear anything. Yeah, he looked pissed off to me. But it was right after that big mess on the bridge. It's only natural he'd be angry. Remember, this guy was one of the Ravens, so I imagine he's more on Portis's side. Huh? Haven't you left yet? Yeah, actually suddenly a case popped up. What do you mean? Well, Estelle explained the assault case to Niall. Ah, I see. Huh? You don't seem too interested. Yeah, I doubt it's big enough to make an article out of. Well, just in case, once you solve it, tell me what you got. Yeah, will do. Sorry, I need to focus on the draft of my article. Deadline's coming up. Oh. So cute. I bet she'd get along with Analysts. Old man. Cooper? Yeah, I know him. He's that young fellow working at the harbour. Like everyone else these days, he's been involved with the election. Oh, a sound. Thinking about it, I did hear a loud noise from above. Above from here? You mean the balcony? Probably around there, yeah. It was an impressive sound, like something had run into something else with a smack. Can't exactly recall where I'd heard it, though. That's too bad. Still, this is all good stuff to know. Thanks, sir. Ah. Something ran into something else. Oh, was Cooper that angry? Well, youngsters get worked up so easily these days. Mr. Cooper is a guest who comes here only on very rare occasions. Mostly we have his patronage for work-related gatherings. A sound, you say? Unfortunately, I heard no such thing. I fear I cannot agree. Mr. Cooper seemed generally normal. Huh, so he didn't seem angrier than usual. That's important to know, I guess. Maybe I guessed the wrong way around and Belden is actually making stuff up. I was angry? Ugh, that's crazy. If you're gonna say that, Ario's attitude is way worse than mine. The moment he saw me, he made this really nasty face. Try asking around about Ario. I'll bet you turn up some dirt. Him and Dell are rivals competing to be the number 2 in Norman's camp. I'm sure they couldn't come to terms and ended up in a tussle. There's no way Harrio did it. I'd testify to it myself. There's no bad blood between us whatsoever. We even work together. Sorry, I got excited and it made my head hurt. Ow. It's unbelievable you would suspect Harrio. In the first place, you're suggesting he would hurt his co-worker? What could possibly motivate him to do such a thing? Achoo! Testing 1, 2, 3. There's the sneeze that happened at the start of the episode. Finally got out. I had an unpleasant expression, you say? Well, of course, after a fuss like that, who wouldn't? What does that have to do with the case? Unpleasant expression before the case happened. That's an important point here. You doubt even Harrio? He isn't the kind of person to resort to violence. Harrio is the most loyal man. He would never commit such a criminal act. Interesting. Oh! Are you done questioning in the office? Yes, we're done here. How about you? It's going okay, I guess. I'm still checking out stuff. Keep it up and don't get careless. Leave it to me. So, it's quite possible that everyone else, that all the office workers are in on it together. So it's either going to be Dells or it's going to be the old man Murray that tell us the truth. So you checking out Harrio? He did kind of look unhappy when he got back to the hotel. That's probably because he was with Cooper though. Harrio's that young merchant fella, yeah? If he wants to be a merchant, I think he needs to have a bit more oomph to him, yeah, Emmy? He's got gullible written all over him. He'll get people ripping him off at every turn if he doesn't shape up. Huh. The guide doesn't say anything about solutions for the quest, so we are going to have to brute force this, I think. The people at the front are acting most peculiarly. If we push them with questions, we might uncover something new. I fear I cannot agree. Mr. Cooper seemed generally normal. Yeah, this guy is at least being honest about anger. The sound, you say? Unfortunately, I heard no such thing. Huh. People at the front. Wait, this way's the exit. I better get back to questioning. Okay, I was wondering if... Wait, are we supposed to go outside? Harry's got motive too, right? Him and Dell's arrivals competing to be number 2 in Norman's camp. I'm sure they couldn't come to terms and ended up in a tussle. The thing is that while there isn't anyone saying you did it, there's also no one saying that he did it either. I know Estelle, I know this is the... We've got a new line to follow now. Hopefully we can get some trustworthy testimony here, but... Yeah, Shira's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. It's impossible for him to be the criminal. Oh, so asking him a second time gave us something. What is it? What's on your mind? If you're hiding something, you should just come out and say it. Trying to hide things will only lead to bigger trouble. I'm sorry. Feel like talking? Yeah, actually. I saw him. I saw Harry on the 2nd floor. And when was that? Right after lunch. Harry went out with Norman, but however, shortly after that, Harry came back and ran up to the 2nd floor. That's kind of important to know. Estelle, I want you to pursue this lead. We'll look around here for a bit longer. Got it. I don't like that I skipped over the start of that, so let's go to that autosave that just popped up. So ask him about Harrio a second time. You still doubt Harrio? Harrio's the most loyal man. He would never commit such a criminal act. It's impossible for him to be the criminal. What is it? What's on your mind? If you're hiding something, you should come out and say it. Okay, let's just skim through all this. Right after lunch, Harry went out with Norman, but However, shortly after that, Harry came back and ran up to the second floor. That's kind of important to know. Pursue this lead. Okay, let's start at the ground floor and work our way up. Or I guess the basement? About lunch? I went to eat at Lavender today. Always been in the habit of getting going out to lunch as soon as I hear the bell toll. The bell toll? The bell on Langland Bridge. Remember, it rang when the bridge went up. Oh yeah! Yeah, it did ring. It always rings at certain times, see? I use it in place of a clock. That's sure convenient. Kinda big to use in place of a clock though. Hey Estelle, might be good to ask some people about the bell toll. Huh? Why? They should be able to clearly remember the sound of a bell ringing. It might act as a guidepost for their memory, like with Mr. Murray. Ah, I get it. Nice, Chloe. Very intellectual advice. You flatter me. Not sure what you two are giggling about, but glad I was able to help. You sure were. Okay, let's go ask around. Right. Let's ask him about the bell toll. It was the Langland Bridge bell. We citizens of Ruin hear it on a daily basis, I'll have you know. Speaking of the sound of a bell, did you remember something? No, you asked about it a second ago, didn't you? That big sound. Ah, the sound like something smacking into something, right? Yeah, that thing. Well, I remember something now. That sound happened as if it were timed to the bell, at least to my ears. Timed to the bell? So basically you heard the sound of the bell roughly at the same time as that big sound. If you want to make it sound all boring, then yeah. If sound was something caused by the criminal, then someone without an alibi when the bell rang is the criminal. Yeah, we should check out people we suspect. So I guess that's just to ironclad the whole situation. Yeah, we had Paella for lunch. I ate on my own in the lobby. It's kind of suffocating to eat in the same room as my dad. Still, you know what? My dad's pretty unfair. He feeds us normal, boring stuff, then gets special Paella just for himself. Is that so? Is it that different? Yeah, it was way better. The special one's like got a mountain of shrimp. Guess he didn't have much of an appetite, though. He left a lot behind. What a waste. Come on, why would I lie about something like that? I was in the hotel basement, so I didn't notice at all. Did the bridge bell already ring? I was in the hotel basement, so I didn't notice at all. Huh, so they do actually alternate dialogue if you ask the same question twice, but I think because we'd already talked to him at the moment, then he treated it as though he had been asked a second time. That's good to know. After lunch, Norman went to have a look at the site where he was going to give a speech. I had some stuff to do, so I met up with him later. The rest is as I explained before. But, Harriet, you went out to the second floor, didn't you? Excuse me? There's no point in hiding it, we have witnesses. I'm not hiding anything. I just realized I forgot something and went up to the office to pick it up. Was there anyone in the office at that time? Dels was there doing work. I didn't see anyone else. Great, that's plenty, thanks. Don't misunderstand, please. I wasn't trying to hide the fact that I'd gone to the second floor. Don't worry, we haven't decided you're the criminal or anything. Just don't forget this kind of thing only makes you look worse. I look forward to your future assistance, sir. Yes, we ordered lunch today from the Lavender. I don't want my companions getting sick of eating the same food again and again, so I thought we'd try something different. Wow, it's nice of you to do that. It's as much a part of politics as the campaign itself. Indeed it is. I'll admit my nerves have been on edge for some time now. It hasn't been easy to keep my eyes on everything day in and day out. You're gonna have to do that all the time if you become mayor, I hope you realize. I'm sorry to hear that. Yikes, that does sound pretty rough. Putting that aside, sir, what did you do after lunch? After lunch, Harrio and I immediately went out to examine the place my speech is to be held at. Harrio had some other business to attend to first and met up with me at the site. So you left right after lunch and met up with Harrio outside. Alright, that's all I need to hear. I'm happy to have helped. Keep up the good work, you two. Yeah, obviously just asking about Harry directly wasn't gonna help, but now we have a new angle to approach. Yeah, we ordered food from the Lavender. Man, it was good. So they ordered from the Lavender? That sure is nice. Maybe I'll try asking Portis if we can do something like that. Well, that wasn't productive, but I can't say I'm surprised. Now we ask about the bell toll. The bridge toll? Yeah, I was running across the bridge in a real hurry. I met Norman right about the same time by the bridge. So then, Cooper and the balcony sound are unrelated. According to the testimony we got, the sound happened right after the bell stopped ringing, so that would line up with what we've heard from Cooper himself. When did the bridge bell ring? It went off when Harry and I were checking out the speech site together. Harry was there too? Yes, he was already there. Just as the bell was ringing, Cooper showed up. I then asked Harry to show him to the hotel. I see. Then it's sure. So then, Estelle, there's no connection between the sound Murray heard and Harry. Yeah, not just Harry, but Cooper seems in the clear too. The sound Murray heard was just after the bell finished ringing, but both men can prove they were with Norman at the time. In other words, whoever made the sound was neither Harry nor Cooper. I'm gonna wrap this quest up in this episode definitely, so if we go over time, we go over time. This virtually eliminates any chance of them being the criminal. It was timed to the bell ringing. The sound of the bridge bell? Now you mention it, I do think I heard that before I got hit. I'm sorry, my head feels like a wreck right now. Nothing's too clear. I heard the bell toll, yes. I think it was when I was meeting with Norman by the bridge. Then Cooper showed up and I showed him the way here. That matches Norman's testimony at least. Wait a minute. The kid wasn't around at the bell. The kid didn't have anyone around during the bell toll. Did he do it? Lunch was ordered from the Levantar. Everyone had their lunch where they saw fit. And then back down so we can... The noon bridge bell? Yes, at that time I was preparing the guest rooms. Once that was finished, I next organized the utensils. Someone had cleaned the plates in the office, so I was able to finish work quickly. The office plates were cleaned? So that means there was someone who went into the office after lunch. Indeed. While I was preparing the guest rooms, they cleaned up, it seems. The plates were stacked at the front. Of course, exactly which kind of guest it was, I couldn't say, unfortunately. Aw, too bad. Guess we'll have to ask around ourselves. Alright, back to the front. Someone cleaned up the plates for Ernest. It's rare to find someone so considerate of others nowadays. Who cleaned up the dishes in the office? Dunno, I wouldn't go to that much trouble. I've been killing time in the hotel basement after lunch. And then, just to refresh myself on what you say for the bell toll. Huh. Okay. Exactly who cleaned up, unfortunately, I do not know. While I was preparing the guest rooms, someone must have cleaned up. Who cleaned up? No idea. Someone must have done it while I was out. Were the plates and such clean by the time you got back to the office? I don't know. Wasn't exactly paying attention, so can't say for sure. Now you mention it, who did clean up? I'm sorry, I don't remember. You were in the office, weren't you? You'd normally notice if someone came to clean. You're right, I would. Even I think it's odd. Who could have done it? All I know is they were cleaned while I was away. So you don't know either, sir? I'm afraid not. I don't know who it was, but I worry I may have left them a terrible impression. Pardon? What do you mean? In truth, I hadn't much of an appetite. Wait a minute, this is the giveaway! It definitely was the kid in the basement because he knows what the plates, he knows what was on the food before they were cleaned up. That's it! In truth, I haven't had much of an appetite lately. I left quite a lot of the paella I got for lunch uneaten. I'd requested Ernest get me one of those special paellas in secret, yet left it virtually untouched. It's embarrassing to think about back on how wasteful that was. I see. It must be really stressful to be running in an election. You're looking for the person who cleaned up the plates? Look, who cares? Just hurry and prove me innocent. I mean, we've already proven you innocent, and now we're trying to find out who's guilty. Let's double check with the kid about cleaning up. Who cleaned up the dishes? I don't know, I wouldn't go to that much trouble. I've been killing time in the hotel basement. Huh? Wait a sec. What's with that weird face? Did I say something weird? No, it's just... Hey, Belden? You said you ate lunch on the first floor, right? Yeah, that's right. What about it? Norman ate on the second floor. How did you know what Norman ate when you were on the first floor? That. I saw it afterwards, obvi. I'm just gonna hang on this expression for a few seconds. It gets funnier the longer I do it, but we are over time, so we've got to hustle. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, actually I heard from someone else. I don't remember who said it though. Maybe you should investigate that next? That's so obviously suspicious. I feel like we're ready to wrap up, but at the same time, what if there's more dialogue? Anyway, at the very least, we know who it is, so I feel like it's safe for me to go asking about it, or rather looking it up. Actually, okay, so we asked him about cleaning up again, I think. Who cleaned up the dishes? I don't know, I wouldn't go to that much trouble. I've been killing time in the hotel basement after lunch. Yes, we ordered lunch. I don't want my companions getting sick, so I thought we'd try everything different. What did you do after lunch? After lunch, Hario and I went to examine the place at my speech. Hario had some other business. He met up with me at the site. He left right after lunch. speak to Belden about... I think that I might have skipped something. Oh, okay, no, this isn't a case of me having missed a clue. We've just got everything that we need now, so yeah, let's go. Wait, we can just give up? The more digging you do, the more you're sure to find something worthwhile. If you're stuck, you might want to go over everything again. If you give up, that's the end. Do you know who the criminal is? Who's your suspect? Belden. The Raven Boy, is it? You have real proof, yes? First, explain the reason you discounted the original suspect. He has a solid alibi. Oh, actually, we have to do this. Yeah, we have to do this. Yeah, we have to prove these through facts. He has a solid alibi. Cooper was outside when the sound was heard. Norman's testimony corroborates this, so we can say for sure it's accurate. If that was the sound of the crime being committed, there's a very small chance that Cooper is the criminal. That's a logical interpretation. The same thing also absolves Harriot of any suspicion. Yeah, it does. Harriet met up with Norman, so we're sure. Next, you need to explain the suspect's crime. What kind of proof do you have? Wait, what? Head inside, speak with Belden again. Something's wrong here. We have to back out, and I need to reset the episode, sorry. Okay, so there's definitely a clue that we're missing. Speak with Belden about cleaning up. Speak with Murray about lunch. I went to the Laventard for lunch today. Always been in the habit of going out to lunch as soon as I hear the bell toll. Sounds like a nice enough routine. You have to go through the hotel to get there though, right? Oh, this is the... Oh, dang it. I didn't think that you'd have to go back to previous clues. Yeah, yep, that I do. I can't fly across the sea now, can I? Good point. So, did you see anyone in the hotel at the time? Well, Ernest was on the first floor, of course, but the rest was real quiet. Huh? There was no one there? Yeah, I'd say so. The basement and first floor were both pretty quiet when I passed through. Norman's son was there when I came back, though. Norman's son... Oh, you mean Belden? Yeah, that's more than enough. No, it was nothing. Speak with Murray about lunch. Then we have to go with the Belden again about cleaning up and lunch. Who cleaned up the dishes in the office? I don't know. I wouldn't go to that much trouble. I've been killing time in the hotel basement after lunch. Were you really in the basement the whole time? What? Why? There's someone who passed through the basement right after the bell rang. According to their testimony, no one was here. That can't be right. I was right here the whole time. So he can't establish an alibi. Just in case, we better ask around about Belden too. By Belden, do you mean the kid? He wasn't in the basement, I'm pretty sure. So when the bell rang, I was underground. I was in the basement the whole time after lunch. Who cleaned up the dishes in the office? Dunno, I wouldn't go to that much trouble. I've been killing time in the hotel basement after lunch, which we've proven isn't the case. It looks like the Belden clue isn't actually used at all. What would you like to ask about? Young Belden? I'm afraid I didn't see him around when the bell rang. I was preparing the guest rooms at the time, you see. So he could have slipped past you and then slipped past again on his way back. Where was Belden when the bell rang? Couldn't tell you, unfortunately. I was out at the time. My son's location when the bell rang could pose a problem, you say. If you have real cause for suspicion, you needn't hesitate on my part. You're welcome to confront Belden and question him. Head upstairs, speak with Norman about lunch. Did we speak with Belden about lunch? Wait, that's the... Yep, this is going to be a long episode, but I'm going to do it in one go. After I ate lunch, I was in the basement. Why would I lie about something like that? You know what? My dad's pretty unfair. He has a special paler all for himself. Okay, just checking that. Speak with Norman about cleaning up. Everything was cleaned while I was out, as far as I'm aware. Embarrassing to think on how wasteful. Okay, so we actually might have skipped a step here by accident. Right. Where was Belden when the bell rang? How the hell am I supposed to know? I don't know, but is he a suspect? It's really unfortunate that I got to the end and then but because I missed a step, Estelle has to rely on instinct rather. Even though we've seen enough to know that there's some logical suspicion to it. He has a solid alibi. What kind of proof do you have? He has no alibi. The proof is his alibi. I have valuable testimony that refutes his alibi. Cooper and Harrio have already been cleared as the suspects, so this person remains as the final possibility. Yes, it does look that way by process of elimination. Ultimately, though, that's nothing but circumstantial evidence. Do you have any more decisive proof? He knew about this. I feel like he knew about the special paler should have already been something that we can use. I feel like that should have been usable on the first step, but I don't know if it's decisive, but something did bother me, and that's the testimony about the special paler. What's this about? Yeah, so Belden testified he ate lunch on the first floor, but somehow he saw the paler that Norman ate. He even knew that Norman barely ate it. In other words, he went to the second floor. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Alright, I'm satisfied. In this case, we'll have to call him in and hear what he has to say first. We can't go straight to an arrest with the proof we have on hand. Okay, got it. Fortunately, we got permission from the we got permission from Quarters to yell at him a bit. Why did you call me? I didn't do anything. Now calm down. Nothing's been decided here. If you can help out with the investigation, you can go home right after. Help? Yeah, we just want you to be frank with us. Where did you go after lunch? Like I said, I was in the basement. Just to warn you, as long as you keep lying, you're not getting out of here. You weren't in the basement the whole time. We already know that. If you didn't do anything wrong, you should be able to be honest and tell the truth. Or is the truth too scary to admit? Ugh. Fine, I'll talk. Today after lunch, I went to the office. I went to go clean up. Clean up? So the person who returned the plates to the front was... Yeah, it was me. Everyone seemed busy, so I figured I'd clean up. While I was cleaning up, I thought I'd tidy the office, but... I didn't think that'd happen. Oh, this might have been an accident now that I think of it. Huh? Hold on, you're not making sense. You just clean up after, right? Why does that have anything to do with the case? I've got an idea. Yeah, actually... I see. I understand Belden came to this room to clean, but I'm not sure how that correlates. What does that have to do with the assault on Dells? It has a lot to do with it. Well, let's hear him say it to himself. Go on, explain. Yeah. Well, once I finished cleaning the room, I thought I'd head back. But since I tidied up a lot of stuff, the room was real dusty. I thought I'd open the balcony door to air it out, but my hands were full of plates. I didn't have any choice, so I kicked the door as hard as I could. Wait, you mean the door? Yep, it's exactly what you think. That door is the criminal that knocked out Dells. The door flying open slammed right into the back of your head. In other words, the truth of this case is an unlucky accident. What? So then, I'm innocent, right? Seems like it. Oh man, finally free and clear. Still, what a mess. Why didn't you volunteer this information at the beginning? If you just told us the truth, things wouldn't have gone nearly this far. I'm sorry. Come on, he's telling the truth now. Give him a break, okay? He had the courage to talk that in the end, so everything worked out. As the victim here, I'd just like to forgive and forget. It's already clear that this was all a misunderstanding. Of course, I'd like him to be a bit more careful opening the doors in the future if he could. Dells, I'm really sorry. And you too, Cooper, you almost got turned into a criminal. You don't need to worry about me. I'm in the clear, that's good enough for me. Well, that settles things. Thank goodness. And that is our report. Racers, I'm sorry for today. Seems we've taken up a great deal of your time over just a big mistake. No, don't worry about it. This is part of the job too. Well, pardon us? Thank you guys so much. Really, I'm very sorry. Take care. Well, that's done and over with, finally. I wouldn't have dreamed it would end like that, though. Truth is always stranger than fiction. However, as your valued assistant, I take great pride in our completion of this most puzzling assignment. You didn't do a damn thing. Oh, but I really appreciate your help, Chloe. You gave a ton of good advice. It was a big help during the investigation. I'm always happy to help. There's no need to thank me, though, Estelle. Right, I guess you two are support staff already, aren't you? Indeed, we'll have you do what needs to be done. Alright, let's head out. Next up is the Zace region. Election office assault completed. I can understand why they make Chloe our specifics assistant there, because she's definitely going to be in the party. Whereas if you had Agate or Shira, that would be way more data that you'd have to go on. Anyhow, next episode I'm going to talk to everyone I can think of talking before we move on with the plot. So, until next time guys, take care, I'll see you all around.